It's getting a little more exciting out here in Times Square. We're about 16 minutes away from that big ball drop, and people all over the world will be counting on that ball. It's hanging high up there. In 1904, the Times newspaper moved to what was a place called Longacre Square in those days, and subsequently became known as Times Square. First year they set off some fireworks and celebrated New Year's. In 1907 they had the first ball drop, and it's been dropping to crowds like this for 91 continuous years. Now this hour down, you can see all those Mylar wigs and the balloons and stuff. All of that was handed out courtesy of the business development people. They're celebrating this hour the Caribbean islands culture with puppets and water things, but everybody here in the crowd is looking at the ball. The crowd size has not been officially told to us yet, but if it is 2 million, it'll be the biggest one I've ever seen in almost 30 years of being out here. And as you can see by our ABC clock, we have a little more than 15 minutes still to go. It's really comfortable this year. It's really nice. I've been out here when it's been 17 degrees below zero wind chill factor, and that can really, really hurt. This crowd is having a great time. Let me give you a little update on a wedding we had 14 years ago. We've had a lot of things here happen over the years. Wayne and Vicky Chu got married, and since then, that was in 1985, they've had 3 girls and a boy. Shayna 13, Amanda 11, Cassie 8, Adam 7. They're living in North Carolina these days. We've had 2 marriages and 1 proposal, and it all happened right under the ball drop. And believe it or not, it is about to happen again in 15 minutes from now. 25% of these people down on the street there are from out of the country. They're foreign visitors. And I've always said to you as we talked over the years, this is a young person's game. Well, believe you me, you got to be young to be here. 70% of those people down there are 19 to 35 years old, and they will drop into the New York City economy about $100 million. That's the financial impact of this celebration this year. Imagine $100 million over a few days. 14 minutes to go till the ball drops, and you'll see it all happen here. The 40 legitimate theaters in the area, most of them have closed. These folks were not going to the theater in any case. They've been in here, since the crack of dawn. Actually, I got up at 5 o'clock this morning and saw them begin to gather. They think the ball is moving. You can hear them screaming, but it's not. It won't drop yet. A little early. They're getting anxious. You can feel the excitement in the air, and this really, it truly is a remarkable sight. All started years and years ago. And we'll be back to follow the ball drop here on ABC once again right after this. You know, just a few seconds from now, it'll be about 10 minutes till the ball drop, and you can feel it in the air. There's a buzz. You hear that sound? They know it's going to happen, and they'll all be looking at the big ball up there on top of #1 Times Square. It's a 77-foot flagpole. Let me show you how they put this ball together and give you a couple of the statistics. It's a 6-foot ball in diameter, and they've mounted on 1,070 pounds of aluminum there. It's just covered with these crystals. There are 504 of them. They range in size from 4 3/4 inches to 5 3/4 inches long. And then again, they're lighted with 168 halogen bulbs at 60 watts, by the way. And as I mentioned, the flagpole is 77 feet tall. It's 390 feet up in the air over Times Square. And that's what these people down in that little square are looking at. This is all of the design of this intricate ball, and it's brand new this year, brand new for the millennium. And of course, there are other symbols around the world. They drop an orange in one place, they light up a fountain somewhere else. But I must tell you, of all the symbols in the world that denote New Year's Eve, it's Times Square and the ball, and that's what they want to see. At the crossroads of the world, it is the place to be. And this is our 28th consecutive year in Times Square. Now, I don't think this crowd is really aware of all the preparation that went into this giant party. Awful lot of people, thousands of volunteers put in a lot of time. The professional crews, they've all got their eye on that flagpole. And when it hits the 2,000, you will hear in 9 minutes and 30 seconds a thing like you've never heard before. The helicopters are overhead. The volunteers have done their work. The professional crews have done it. The musicians, the dancers, the police, as I mentioned earlier, they have consumed 7,000 gallons of coffee. This is something to see. Times Square is a year-round attraction. There's no doubt about it. It is one of the places to see. The first movie theater that presented a talkie was here in 1927. And now, of course, you got dozens and dozens of movie houses everywhere, 40 legitimate theaters in the area, 250 restaurants, if you can believe that. And there are 12,500 hotel rooms in the area. We've got 9 minutes to go until the ball drops. Speaking of hotel rooms, 90,000 citywide, so New York City can throw a party. You know, the nice thing about this is these people have not been allowed to bring in alcohol. They're having a great time on their own. They're conversing, having intimate conversations, but they're screaming and yelling. They got the crazy wigs on and their glasses. They're just happy to be here. And as 1999 passes into 2000, we're going to remember certainly the Latin music take over, the female singers take over, the boy band take over, and things like the Blair Witch Project. I wonder what they would have said if they'd seen the ball. Bruce Springsteen's $53 million tour. It's been a big year in entertainment. It's a big night here in Times Square. This is the year of the internet impact, $1 million game shows, Santana's return, wrestling's return. By the way, as we watch the ball up there, do you have any idea? Yeah, it's 7 minutes to go, and we got just a second here. The BMI people, the folks who publish or keep track of a lot of the music, christened the top song of the century is "You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling." The Righteous Brothers, and Ascop's top song of the century was "Happy Birthday to You," if you can believe it or not. Once again, let us thank a wonderful ABC crew for putting all of this extraordinary coverage of the millennium around the world, and especially here in Times Square together. Larry Klein's been our producer for goodness knows how many years. Bob McKinnon is our director. Dave Clark is the executive senior producer of the ABC television crew, and they've done a phenomenal job. That stage there in the middle has been the site of a lot of entertainment today. And as you see these giant billboards, they're all over the place. Back in the 1930s, Benny Goodman was the guy here. Just yesterday, as of 1942, Frank Sinatra appeared at the Paramount Theater for a 4-week engagement, and they extended it for 4 more weeks. Right here in the center of Times Square. In the 1950s, we had the first rock and roll shows. Alan Freed was here. And in 1983, you talk about big crowds. Big crowds. Central Park was inundated with people. That's when Diana Ross was there. And in 1997, Garth Brooks was there. Every eye is on the ball at 6 minutes and 40 seconds to ball drop and counting down. The weather tonight is perfect. I mean, look at them. They're not all bundled up. You can't even hardly see the breath in the air. I mean, usually they're rubbing themselves, hugging themselves, trying to stay warm. This is a walk in the park this year. Temperatures are in the mid-30s. A little earlier we said 37. It's probably down around 35 or 36 now. But they are not paying any attention at all to the weather. They're in a party mood. Now, all of these balloons and the funny-looking Mylar wigs and all were handed out by the Business Improvement District here, and they have done an extraordinary job of really putting things together here. It's a wonderful, wonderful party, and certainly one that will be long remembered for many, many years to come. I've just heard from the control room that it is still 37 degrees. And as I say, you would think it was in the mid-50s in terms of these. Look, they don't even have their hats on tonight.
Hello again. We are now closing in on the new millennium. Our millennium countdown clock that we've been showing you for the past 2 weeks is now counting down to the final minutes and seconds. And that means we are just moments away from the dropping of the ball in Times Square, which we will bring to you live. And after the ball drops, we will also go live to Penn's Landing in Philadelphia, where they are getting ready for what is being billed as Philadelphia's greatest fireworks spectacular ever, and you will see it all right here up to the grand finale. First, let's check in quickly with Lisa Thomas-Laurie and Mark Howard, who have been watching all the Millennium Philadelphia festivities at the Convention Center. Lisa, Mark?
It's exciting, Jim.
This crowd is readier than it's ever been, boy. Talk about a midnight blowout show.
5,000 balloons.
500 pounds of confetti is dropped here.
Oh, it's going to be exciting. Hundreds of people are here. There's music. There's fans. It's great. We're ready.
We told them what to expect, and you can tell they are really in anticipation. You see what's happening behind us. It's quite a show, and we are enjoying it just as much as anyone else. The little ones are here with their families. All ages are here, and they have put on one heck of a show. We'll be showing you some highlights a little bit later.
We're taping everything, Jim. We'll be back with you later live to show you the whole story. Lisa and Mark, live down at the Convention Center. Jim.
Back to you, Jim.
Thank you, guys. All right, the big moment is nearly at hand, and so we are now going to go back to New York to join Dick Clark live in Times Square. We will be back after the ball drops to show you Philadelphia's fireworks. And so Happy New Year, Happy New Century, Happy New Millennium. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Piccadilly Circus is big. Ginza in Tokyo is big. But ain't nothing like the ball in Times Square. Crossroads of the world in New York City. This is the place to be, believe you me. I wish I had the balloon concession, but those were all given away free tonight, isn't it? Happy looking group of people. Notice the ages, though, didn't I see? It is a young person's game. In order to stand out here for 10 or 12 hours, you got to have a lot of stamina. And the police have arranged the porta potties on the side streets and all. They've accommodated the people who couldn't get into the square. They've worked it out so people can move around with ease. And we're just less than 3 minutes away from probably the biggest sound you will ever hear as the Millennium ball drop happens. I mean, I've seen a lot of them, but I've never seen the size of a crowd like this. If indeed this is 2 million people, there are only 3 cities in the United States that are bigger than this crowd: Chicago, New York, and LA. This is big, really big. They talked about 3 million people on the beaches in Rio. They can stretch them out a long way up and down that beach down there. They're a little cozy down here. Yeah, say hi to Mom. She's watching you on TV. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Every single person in this crowd is watching for that thing to move. It's all computerized now. In the old days, you used to drop it with a nylon clothes cord with 3 guys and a Mickey Mouse watch. It's all computerized now, highly technical. A couple of years ago when they first started, we had a minor glitch. Talking about Y2K things this year. A couple of years ago when it was computerized, we were a little bit late. I think we lost it by about 2 seconds that year, and boy, did it hit the papers. As I wave to television, turn around now, watch the ball. That's it there. You think she heard me? That's a funny look. Look at them. They're all the way up to Central Park, all the way down to 42nd Street. This is a massive New Year's Eve crowd with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Listen to the music, Bill. They're ready. They're in their sombreros. That's our street cam. We've got 25 cameras here tonight covering this event. This is a really big one. You are wise to stay at home. In 1 minute, the ball will drop and you will see pandemonium. Listen to him. The ball is beginning to move. They can feel it. They know it. In 47 seconds, it will be 2,000. You're in Times Square with a couple of million intimate friends. 35 seconds. They're ready in 30. Get close to somebody you love. In 25 seconds, it'll be the new year. In 20 seconds. And we're going to count it down from here down when we get to 10. Are you ready? Happy New Year early. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy 2000!
What a sight in New York City. Upwards of 2 million people bringing in the new millennium on Times Square. Tons of confetti being dropped over the sea of humanity outside the ABC studios there. What a sight. Happy New Year, everybody. We hope it is a healthy and happy year 2000 for you and your family. Now we're going to Penn's Landing, live in Philadelphia, where the Millennium